are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Thank you very much for having us here in Barcelona. First of all, we're here for the first test drive of the new Volvo XC60.
Sure, it's good to be here, Javier.
Thank you very much. And I understand you're in charge of the amazing safety technology in these cars. Volvo has always been known for that.
That's
but
correct.
This is obviously being the newest model, must have the latest technology, right?
That's correct, yeah, the XC60. It's our latest product out on the scalable product architecture, following the footsteps of XC90, S90, V90. So it's got the basis of all those tech systems in the XC60 plus we've raised the bar a little bit on our collision avoidance, city safety support, also on lane mitigation for oncoming vehicles as well, and then we have option of bliss steering support as well. So yeah, we're raising the bar continuously, and there's 3 examples of new systems coming.
Those 3 are new. For this one, it's never been in any other model.
That's right. We've been developing them, and they're developed on time for the launch of the XC60. And of course, we're going to be taking those new technologies and putting them backward updates into our existing 90 cars.
And that's the great thing about newer technology, that you can just go back and like update the cars, right? So let's go for a little drive. And first of all, I mean, with all the latest Volvos, and I have this here for a reason. Yeah. They have this little cloth in the glove compartment, and sure, this is like one of the many examples of attention to detail, and this is to clean the screen, right? The screen there in front of us with the infotainment system. That's I mean, you probably didn't need to do this, but this is such a nice touch that you can have this. That's great. And that's why I pull it out, because I want to mention how you guys have been doing, I mean, every little detail. It seems like everything, the smallest thing, even down to the little flag of the proud. Yeah, I'm glad you like it as well. Well, yeah, we've put a lot of attention into our interior design, and it's great that you're pointing out these nice features as well. So we're gonna put this back in, and then the other thing is like the elegant way to start the car. Just a turn of that knob, and it's like almost like a piece of jewelry. Yeah, yeah. It's nice, but yeah, as I say, a lot of attention and details we put into our interior systems and the driver interface as well. You can actually find there's an option as far as a Swedish crystal glass gear stick top as well. Oh, okay. Well, isn't that with the T8 only? That, I think you're absolutely right on the T8 only. Yeah. We first introduced on the XC90, coming in the T8 also on the XC90. So technology obviously advances really fast and must be very challenging for you guys. But also, I think Volvo is one of the best examples of integrating technology in a very elegant way, because some other manufacturers put things kind of in a way, they put like screens in top of the grille, but you guys have been like done a great job, I think, putting together the technology and the design. Yeah, it's very important for us. I think we are very much a human-centric company. We've got a lot of attention to detail as far as interaction with the driver and our systems. My background from safety, you know, we are very interested in the design and the infotainment software development guys. They're doing things the way which is good ergonomic interface with the driver as well. So we're gonna go for a little drive around here, the airport in Barcelona, and we will try some of the systems, obviously not all of them, because for example the pilot assist has to be at a certain speed, right? Yes, the pilot assist will kick in around well, 35 or something? Well, pilot assist will work up to 130 kilometers an hour, up to 85 sorry, 81 miles per hour is when it converts. Oh, okay. Per hour, yeah. Well, there it is now, for example. Yeah, you got the green steering wheel and the thing, and there you go. It's hard to see in camera, but the car is actually guiding me in the steering wheel to follow the path, right? We can see in front of us there that we've got clear lane markings, which the system's cameras are using to follow. And then we can set with the pilot assist function the speed that we want the car to be driving at as well, because the system will work without a vehicle in front of us as well. Part of the system is we can set the time gap to any vehicle that could be in front of us to give us a safety margin, so that the vehicle will then brake too. But without a vehicle in front of us, we can use the speed to set that time. Now you can see that the grey steering wheel has been
switched off down to a grey one. So
that's because I turn on the turn signal?
Exactly, to steer into another lane.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. And you're doing it again, so it's been going from green to grey as well. So once you then find yourself in the new lane, then you see the green steering
came back on, yeah.
Automatically, yeah.
So, can you please explain to our audience, we're in the level 2 of autonomous driving with this technology, right?
Exactly. So this is, by definition then, a semi-autonomous vehicle, which means that it's the driver, you, Javi, that has the responsibility for the control of the vehicle. Now what we're saying here, because it's level 2, because it's semi-autonomous drive, because the driver has responsibility, then you have to be driver in the loop, actively engaged in our driving. That means hands on wheel and with your eyes on the road and with your mind on the driving, because at the end it's semi-autonomous mode.
Here's an example. I'm sorry for the interruption.
Sure.
But that was a perfect example of the Bliss assist, right? I mean, the car detected this car came up pretty fast on the blind side.
Yeah.
And like it helped me.
Yeah, we were talking. Now we're driving and talking at the time, and there's a lot going on for you, Javi. And as you described, the car came up on the blind side. On the wing mirror, there was a red light flashing. Yeah. Bliss functionality.
And it caught my attention. Actually, it did.
It did. So you knew he was coming. We were still in lane, so there was no issue. But the system told you that car was coming.
I'm sorry again, I interrupted you in the description of level 2 of autonomous driving. I'm in charge of it, and I understand that, I mean, it already has a lot of systems that can probably, if you're on a highway for 3 hours, it can go pretty much on its own.
Well, for 3 hours, well, the system is developed then for use as it is today then on the highways, where we have clearly marked lines, and in particular it would be useful for like traffic jam scenarios, for example California, where you have lots of traffic jams during rush hour, or alternatively straight highways. I can imagine driving through the Midwest, through Kansas, long straight roads, where the roads are very, very straight, little curvature. So that's where the system would be, is developed for, and will work very, very well. And
you are in the process of the development and all that, you are bypassing level 3, or that's?
Well, we have a strategy then. That's today we have our systems, as we talked about, at level 2. Our strategy then, along for our journey to develop systems for fully autonomous drive vehicles, to go straight to level 4, and that's at level 4 by definition. The car manufacturer has responsibility for control of the car. Now what's in the middle is level 3, and there we see the handover situations where we see there's issues and difficulties in defining who has the responsibility in those handover situations from the driver to the vehicle. And we think that adds complexity in very difficult situations to be able to clearly define that responsibility. And that's why our strategy is to go straight to level 4, and we're developing systems and doing research work which will aid us on that journey to develop systems straight to level 4.
And I understand that this summer you're already testing some of that autonomous driving technologies in Sweden, right?
That's correct. We have the Drive Me project, which has already started. The first family has been selected, the Hain family, as was announced recently by Volvo. The project is for driving cars, 100 families that will be driving our Drive Me vehicles in Gothenburg. It's a project which is a joint venture together with the local authorities as well, so that they are on board, together with and some other partners, and this project is a research project which will help us to understand driver interaction with the vehicle, and will give us very, very important data to help us to develop these systems on our journey towards level 4.
And that's also working in coordination with the city, right? Because for a fully autonomous driving environment you need the infrastructure to have some equipment too.
That's exactly correct. So we have to have the roads which are available and that can work along with level 4 vehicles too. So yes, it's a lot to do with the joint venture where the local authorities are on board as well.
This also combines on your vision of the 2020 vision. Can you add on a little bit on that?
That's correct. Yeah. So we have our safety vision 2020, which states that at Volvo we will be developing vehicles such that by the year 2020 our new vehicles, nobody will be killed or seriously injured in a new Volvo by the year 2020. Something that we've been working with. It's part of our working process within Volvo and within the Volvo Car Safety Centre for many years. The basis of this, as I said, is human centric. It's to do with we've been collecting crash data from accidents in the field since the 1960s. So we can see the progress and the advance in our safety systems within our vehicles, reducing serious injuries through the decades, through the generations of Volvos up until today. Now our new products on this scalable product architecture, the first vehicle out was XC90 and then S90, V90. These are relatively new products which haven't been in the field that long, which means that we don't have
a lot of data,
which is statistically significant to see, okay, well, how are we actually doing? But what we do know, of course, we are robustly verifying these vehicles in our own crash labs. So we know from our own testing experience, we know from our own simulations that these vehicles are performing very well relative to our older generation of vehicles. And on top of that as well, of course, don't just take my word for that. We have rating institutes.
I was going to say, because in the European safety test, Volvo cars has been #1 for several years now, right?
That's right, yeah. So Euro NCAP in particular, and these guys, you know, their safety protocols, they've been raising the bar consistently, and in the latest testing, the 3 vehicles which have performed the best ever, they're all Volvos, and those are the XC90, S90, V90. So not only do we know from our own internal testing that our latest products are better than our older ones, of course, we have that confirmation from external institutes as well that, you know, these cars are best ever. So we're really doing what we can to be following our path towards that Zero Vision 2020.
Amazing work and an amazing final product, and I'm sure this car is already the most popular for sales, in terms of sales for Volvo. So
that's correct.
I mean, with all this beautiful design, beautiful combination of the powertrain, which by the way is the same one as the XC90, which is also really great in terms of performance. Exactly. And this technology, I'm sure you're gonna keep getting a lot of good news. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Javier.
Very interesting conversation while driving.
Great.
And again, we didn't have the chance to test every single system, but there's like a lot of technology that people are going to be really impressed with.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Great.
Thank you very much.
Nice to talk to you. Thank you. Okay.